The wind, she is a blowing out there on Strong Island right now. How do you check out the first, I guess, half of the first round, Scott? What's your take on what we're seeing so far?
Well, that's it, right? In a nutshell, this is it's as much as a U.S. Open can be like a seaside links, like the Open Championship, because it sits right there. On Long Island, the wind's howling, and it's an exposed golf course where the greens are hard to keep. It's hard to keep your approaches in the right places, and the ball's rolling off, and it's a disaster. There are many cliches in the game, one of which is you can't win it in the first day, but you can lose it. And right now, players like Jason Day, who a lot of people liked, and Jordan Spieth, and I could run through a litany. Rory McIlroy, these guys are like 8, 9, 10 over par in the first day, and Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, and Tiger Woods are getting ready to go, as you mentioned here, at this hour. So unless the wind dies down, I don't know how much better anyone's going to do than 1 under par. You shoot anything around even today, and you have played your butt off.
Yeah, but the fact, though, that this is an old-school U.S. Open course, one that has seen the U.S. Open before, do you think that's a reason why we're not hearing many complaints about course setup? If this was a Chambers Bay, for instance, there might be some sort of complaints? Scott?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, but I don't think it's that so much as just that I think everyone, the wind doesn't blow. The fairways here are generous enough that you can shoot under par. I mean, look, Piercy shot 1 under. It looks like Ian Poulter can shoot 1. I guess he's got a putt to maybe get to 2. But I think the complaints, and we'll hear what guys have to say when they come off, but I don't think you'll hear people complain just because they understand that if the wind really blows on this golf course, then big numbers can happen. I guess the key will be for the USGA is if you know it's going to be windy, you've got to protect the golf course and field in terms of how you set it up. So I don't know if they set it up today thinking it would be windy, or if they set it up today because they're still pissed off that last year everybody and their mother shot 15 under par, and they want to extract their pound of flesh. I don't know what the reaction will be at the end of the day. It's just obvious that. As I said, anything around level pars is great score.
Yeah, I mean, do you give us a little bit of insight on that, Scott? I mean, does the USGA sit around and stew over the final numbers and say, okay, let's get that stimp like it's a sheet of glass when it's all said and done?
Sure. I mean, listen, they'll lie about it, and they'll say we're not trying to protect par and we don't care what the score is. But that's over the years, it's just been they've shown that that's not the case. Hell, the last time they played at Shinnecock, they killed the golf course. And I mean, that's not like a metaphor. Like the entire golf course was dead on Sunday. And if you'd have dropped a match on the first tee, the entire 18 would have been on fire in 2 minutes because everything was dead. And they don't love the idea that double digits under par wins their championship. That just doesn't typically happen. And then last year, everybody, Koepka and I'm trying to think, it was Fleetwood and Brian Harmon and all these guys were double digits under because the course just wasn't. There was no defense for what they could do. And that's just not what the U.S. Open typically is. That also is not a golf course where they'd ever played before. So Shinnecock, as we saw, I think it was 4 under that Goosen shot that year, but he putted like a space alien the year that he won. He made like 5 1-putts from 20 feet. It was a joke. So, long story, yes, they don't want to see you shoot low scores. They'll say they don't care, but that's a lot.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.